When you look at our history when it comes to race, order is a defining characteristic. Every time it seems that people of color have some moment of progress, there is a reaction against that. And the reaction is usually to criminalize and use the criminal justice system to reshape, redefine what's just happened. So when people start protesting, what do? We call them criminals. Dr. King is convicted of a crime for organizing the Montgomery bus boycott. That frame is a constant frame in American history. That's what gave rise to convict leasing. What happens in the 1870s when Reconstruction collapses is that states immediately began criminalizing all kinds of conduct by black people that they would never criminalize for white people. Oh, if 6 black people are together after dark, that's a crime. If black people try to get a job without a letter from their former slave owner, that's a crime. They start arresting people of color and convicting them of these made-up crimes, and they were leased to commercial entities. It was a new kind of enslavement. The label slave is replaced with the label criminal. But it created the same ability to oppress and to control. Using crime and criminality has been an effective tool throughout. So in the 1950s and 60s, when people start protesting and marching, they're criminalized. And it is the criminal justice system, it is those who wear uniforms that become the foot soldiers of this effort to sustain racial inequality.
When the nation with the greatest tradition of the rule of law is plagued by unprecedented lawlessness, then it's time for new leadership for the United States of America.
When Richard Nixon claims power, he uses the same trope. We've got to have law and order.
And to those who say that law and order is a code word for racism, our goal is justice. Justice for every American.
Law hasn't been involved in no burglary.
As we move into the 1970s, everybody is talking about getting tough on crime. And we commit now to build a new institution that will operate that control, and we're going to call it mass incarceration. And the prison population begins to grow. And we go from 300,000 in 1972 to 2.3 million today. We become the society with the highest rate of incarceration in the world. We've allowed the criminal justice system to be the repository of what we do with our rage, our anger, our frustration when we've had moments of progress with regard to civil rights and racial justice. We do it to everybody. We do it to women. The percentage of women going to jails and prisons has increased 646% over the last 25 years. We do it to children. We began lowering the minimum age for trying children as adults. We did it to the mentally ill, people with disabilities. We spent $6 billion on jails and prisons in 1980, $80 billion last year. And the people who profit from that industry have a perverse incentive to make sure no one is released. And the more people we incarcerate, the more money they make. And it's not unlike the economic dynamic that allowed us to keep enslaving people. It's the reason why this statistic about 1 in 3 black male babies going to jail or prison is an indictment on this country and our failure to recognize this historical legacy.